All right, the second to last night in the books, and I'm here with Romy Barnier. Thanks for doing a recap with me, buddy. I appreciate it. We're going to recap what we saw tonight, and we've been having a discussion about the difference between the guys that are swimming well here and the guys that are a little bit off their rhythm is the word that we've been using a lot. But we're going to go in order real quick before we get to some of the big events. I guess we got to talk about the 100 butterfly, but we're going to get there after we talk about the 50 fly first. And yesterday, Teresa Alsheimer had the rhythm. She was a 25.0. Today, she did not in that 50 butterfly final. What do you think of that one?
That's a big gap between yesterday and tonight. And I guess she changed the rhythm, and the girl from Australia played the cards right, and she got the gold.
And it's kind of a rarity to not see a world record, but that's how the first one went. And the Australian, Marieke Gorer, is your winner, 25.48. That's the world champion. The next event of the night, the showdown in the 50 freestyle, and it was Cesar Cielo and Fred Bousquet going 1-2 in that final. Also, Amari Laveau getting in there for third, and I didn't realize that Amari's father passed away a couple days ago. That's a pretty big deal.
That was a lot of emotion going through the French team when we found out that he lost his father, but that he decided to stay, and I guess I hope that he stayed to get a medal and to give it to his father, and that was beautiful to see him get a medal tonight.
Great to see him step up and go a best time. That's not necessarily his go-to event either, right?
No, but the kid is so talented, and he understands that the 50 and 100 is where you get all the attention. He likes the attention, and he did a great job tonight.
So Cesar Cielo earns his second gold medal of the weekend, and I mean, it's getting to a point where we can start referring to him as the best sprinter in the world when he wins both those events. I mean, since Popoff, we really haven't had a dominant sprinter like that, and Cielo's beginning to fill those shoes.
Cesar's got so much charisma. You see it all week, you see it all the time. I think that's where he won the World Championships here. It was just his strength, his confidence, and he's just so good.
We just talked to Brett Hawk as well, and he said that Cesar didn't look great before the race, didn't look great during warm-up, but still found a way to win, and that's a big deal for confidence, knowing that you don't feel great, knowing that your coach sees you don't look great, and still being able to do it.
He looked so much better before the 100 free, and because he was confident, because he's done the work, he was able to pull it off, and that's a great double, 50-100 at World Championship.
And we're going to talk about rhythm a little bit more as we get into the butterflies and the backstrokes, but in a 50 freestyle, do you have a chance to get in rhythm? Do you think there's still an element of rhythm in that swim as well?
I think in this race, the rhythm helps you to not tie up, and to swim your own race. They look for it in warm-up, and I think Cesar was the one that didn't have it in warm-up, but had it during the race. I looked at Freddie during warm-up. It looked a little bit better than Cesar, but he didn't have it during the race. He knows it. He's been better before, 20.9. Good thing for Freddie. He remains the world record holder and the only man under 21. The 3 medals at this World Championship. You can be proud of him.
Absolutely. Freddie's had a great week, and it was a little bit questionable at first when the end of that relay, stepping up against a guy who's has a lot faster time then, and he wasn't able to get his hand on the wall first in that relay, but to be able to come back and do it in the 100 and then do it in the 50, that's a pretty tough mental switch to turn back on.
It's tough if it happens to you the first time. Last year was the opposite. He had a great relay split and didn't swim well individually, but suffered for the whole week from that silver medal at the Olympics. And I think that week was a great learning experience for him, and he was able to pull a lot of energy from that. And right after the relay, he told me, I'm not going to let anything come against me swimming a great 50 and a great 100, and that's what he did.
That's exactly what he did. So congratulations to Cesar, Fred, and Amari as well for getting in there for third. So we want to talk about rhythm. We got to talk about Kirsty Coventry. If we want to get a quick shot of Kirsty, the world record holder, having a little dinner with the family after her victorious world record-setting 200 backstroke. Is there anybody who has better rhythm than Kirsty Coventry?
On the women's side, I'd say no. On the men's side, we saw such a great 200 backstroke yesterday that, but it was, it's one of those moments at World Championships where, we know she's a champion, she's an Olympic champion, and great reaction after not doing as well as she wanted in the 200 IM and the 100 back. She comes back under a lot of pressure and a lot of great competition, and she puts her hand on the wall first, and it was just fun.
It was good to see, and Anastasia Zueva, came home on her, almost touched her out at the end. So like you said, great competition, but still able to get the world record and get that world championship. Congratulations to Kirsty and Elizabeth Beisel getting in there for third. That's big for the US of A. 206.9 a best, or 206.3 a best time for Elizabeth. So congratulations to all three of them. In the women's 50 breaststroke semifinal, top time was Sarah Katsolis. Both the Americans getting into the final. You got Amanda Reeson, still your world record holder from Canada. Can she step up and put it together tomorrow when it counts in that final? We shall see. So then we get to the race of the day, maybe the race of the week. The showdown between Mike Cavic and Michael Phelps. After Phelps loses in the 200 freestyle's first individual event, Cavic, talking a little bit within the press, not necessarily anything disrespectful to Michael, just trying to make sure that there were no excuses in this race, and there were no excuses necessary because Michael Phelps was able to step up despite the suit that he has considered maybe less than the best, and he was still able to step up and get the win. And you knew at about 55 meters that he was going to do it. Was there any doubt after the turn that Michael Phelps was going to get it?
In my mind, there was no doubt that he was going to do it from yesterday's swim. He's played it perfect. I mean, we're going to talk about rhythm. Perfect rhythm in the prelims, perfect rhythm in the semis, and again, perfect rhythm in the final. When Mike, he overswam the semifinal. Really, he showed something to his opponents that he shouldn't. The last three strokes when he died. That's not something you want to give to Michael when you know how good Michael can be mentally.
Especially at the end of a race, too.
Especially at the end of a race.
Talk about the rhythm a little bit, though, because you've watched Michael through prelims, semis, and finals, and just his rate alone, it's the same kind of rhythm. It's just an increased rate throughout those three races. Like he finds a little bit of an increased rhythm each time. Is that?
I think he's one of those swimmers that can find the rhythm, the perfect rhythm to swim the times that he wants to swim. He never overswims it, and when he does that, it's just the best, and no one can beat him. So Aaron yesterday in the back being attacked, but by the Japanese guy, and Japanese guys got great rhythm also, and those guys, when they're able to find the right rhythm for the right race, we see something really special. 49.800 butterfly, 151.9 swim the backstroke. I mean, those times, they're just unreal.
And as much as they are racing to win, they're not necessarily racing anybody else. They're just getting within their own race, which is one of the benefits to our sport, is that it is just your lane, and you don't have to account for other factors, and rhythm becomes a big factor because of that, right?
I think that's what I learned from those guys, and they have a different approach to swimming than most other swimmers. They have a different relationship, and when you see them warm up, you see really something special about them trying to find the rhythm, them trying to find the right mental energy during the warm-up, during the preparation to the race. And when they're able to do it, no wonder why they have no pressure on their race. They're not trying to win, they're just trying to find something that's rhythm, that's beautiful to find. And when you hear Pearsall talking about his race, finding a gear that he hasn't had since he was 17, no wonder why no one can beat him.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is talking about competition and beating people, and they're talking about, feeling right in the water. So they got something right.
Absolutely. We'll quickly get through the rest of these. Kate Campbell, your top qualifier going into finals of the 50 freestyle. 24.08 was her top time. Liam Tancock setting a world record in the 50 backstroke in that semi-final race. And then there was the 800 freestyle for the women. A back and forth battle. Eventually from Denmark, your winner is Lotta Friis. Lotta going a 8:15.92. Second place going to Joe Jackson of Great Britain. And third place, always good to see a hometown favorite coming from Alicia Felipe. And when the Italians are in the mix, it's a different atmosphere in there, am I right?
When Michael's in the race, when Pearsall's in the race, when Cielo's in the race, and when the Italians are in the race, it's a magic moment for someone that loves swimming to see this much excitement around swimming. It's been a great World Championships. We talked a lot of bad things about the suits, but I tell you what, watching it was just very exciting this week. Despite all the controversy about the suit, it's just beautiful to see all those champions getting out top. It's been the best World Championship I've seen, and that's in Pablo.
And you're right. I mean, it has just been, suits or no suits, it's just been exciting. And it's made for great races. It's made for, countless storylines that we've been able to get through. It's been a great week so far. One more day to go. But before we get to that last day, there was the final relay of the night. I don't have that heat sheet in front of me. The Chinese stepping up again, taking another relay, and I don't know what else you can say. Yeah, just in front of Australia, who were the world record holders. So congratulations to the Chinese. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage. We will be back tomorrow night for the final night of action.
Thank you.